afternoon. I hope that you're doing well. It's Wednesday afternoon and I have some updates. I was hoping to be able to talk a little bit on Monday, and I think I did try in a couple of the clips, but it was too dark and I didn't think you could really see anything particularly well, so I thought I'd film today and update you on a couple of things. Some are book related, some are like more stationery related. My Stile order arrived, which is a highlight of the week, obviously. Stationery order always makes me incredibly happy. That was technically an early birthday gift for myself. My birthday is on Saturday, but I wasn't gonna wait to open that on Saturday. There was no way. So I was very excited to open that. And then I also have some book related updates, and today was also my last day of lectures, so it's kind of a lot altogether. I don't think I've really fully processed it yet. I did some journaling yesterday night, but I mostly had a catch up on some book reviews in the Commonplace book, which I'll show you in a second. I didn't actually get around to doing a lot of journaling in the Traveler's Notebook, though I am on track with the pages in the Hon, which is good, because I wasn't last week. And I haven't really had time to really journal about that, though I have a lot of feelings towards it because I still have exams to go. I still have 5 exams to go, plus my dissertation, plus I need to finish my lab hours. But that was like my last lecture for this bachelor degree, and I will not be doing my master's degree in that. It's still the same university, but it's not the same building. That's what I meant. It's in a completely different location. So, well, not completely different, but it's not the same place. So that was my last lecture there, and it's not going to be my last time being there because I'm still going to go for exams and graduation and all that, but it was slightly emotional. I'm slightly mad about this, and it's completely random, but the coffee machine and the snack vending machine have not been working for the past 2 or 3 months, and today I find out that literally this week they've replaced the coffee machine and it now works, and they've got 2 different types of coffee that are both nice coffees. They don't have a nice coffee and a terrible coffee, and we're not going to be able to make use of it. But we did, because I got there and I wanted to see how much the coffee was, so I pressed the numbers and then it just started making the coffee because someone had forgotten money in there, because you have to press a button to get the change basically. And so it was 3 of us at the lecture and we got free coffee, which, also a highlight of my day. But yeah, that was a very random thing. Anyways, I'll be writing that in my journal tonight though, because it's that kind of funny little thing that I think is cool to note down and to remember and to look back on. Anyways, I've been talking for 3 minutes and I've not said anything basically. So first thing that I wanted to talk about was the stationery order. So I did actually go ahead and ordered it to Twisby Eco. The coffee pen was just too cute to not get. Honestly, did I need a fountain pen? No. Did I just get it because it was my birthday and I had an excuse to buy it, to buy myself something cute just for the sake of buying myself something cute? Yes. Am I really enjoying it? Also yes. I got it with a medium nib. I do think I should maybe have gone with a fine nib, mostly because it is a bit thicker than my Muji pen. You can tell from these pages. That's a side-by-side comparison. It is a bit thicker than my Muji pen, and I think I don't mind it in general, but in the Hon pages, or in the Hobonichi pages in general, which have the very small grid, it is kind of thick. I don't mind it. This was my first test of the pen, and then this was yesterday's entry. I think it looks a lot neater already. I just guess a lot of it is probably just getting in the hang of it and being used to writing with a pen. I also find, because I write in script, or in print, I guess it's called in English, I can't write in cursive. My cursive is horrible. It's always been terrible. But I do tend to write more slanted letters when I'm holding a pen, you hold a fountain pen. And this used to be my handwriting 3 or 4 years ago, and then I changed it to be this more neat kind of print. So I'm kind of going back to that. I don't mind it. I really, really like the way that it writes on the Hobonichi paper. I will say I did a test at the back of my weeks, which I don't know where I have at the moment. Here it is. I did a test at the back of the weeks to see if there was any difference between the old Hobonichi paper and the new Hobonichi paper. So this was the old Tomoe River paper, and then this is the new Sansa Tomoe River paper. It definitely dries faster on the new paper, and I like it better. So I don't think I'm going to be using it in the weeks, just because the weeks is kind of the kind of thing that I mostly write in on the go, and I generally prefer to use like a ballpoint pen for that. But I think for like because the writing experience is so nice, I feel like this is really worth it for like longer entries, if that makes sense. So I got this with the Pilot Tsuwairo black ink. I cannot pronounce that. I got this because I was looked through all of the black inks that I could find on the Stilo website. Looked for reviews, looked for comparison videos. I wanted a solid black, no blue undertones. Like, I hate blue ink. I hate it with a passion. I will not write with a blue pen. Blue ink gives me a headache immediately, and I just do not like the look of it. And I don't like blue toned blacks either. So I wanted to find just like a neutral or slightly warm toned black. Ideally, a waterproof ink would have been nice. I've never spilled anything on my books, but also, knock on wood, I won't do that soon. But also, I always have tea or water around on my desk, so I wouldn't be particularly surprised if at one point or another that did actually happen. And I know that the Muji pen isn't waterproof, and if I'm gonna buy myself an ink for a fountain pen, I'd like it to be waterproof. Also, I'm really excited to try drawing with this. I have drawn with a fountain pen before, but it was a long time ago, so I'm excited to like kind of do that again sometime. And I guess if I'm drawing something and then maybe I want to go over it with watercolor or gouache, I'd like that to be the option without like smudging everything. So this was an ink that satisfied all of those conditions. It's a very solid black ink. I really like the way that it looks. It may be, I think the reason why it's kind of a bit jarring compared to the Muji pen as well. I'm comparing it to that because it's like my standard pen. But I think the Muji color is also a little bit less intensely black. It's maybe slightly more on the grey side. But I really like this, very much like this. I did not want a grey. Very solid. I don't have a lot of like false starts, that kind of stuff. So I'm really enjoying using this. I'll kind of update you more as I go along and get more used to using it, I guess, and you'll see it in the videos and stuff. I also know very little about fountain pens, but this was easy to start writing with, easy to like fill up. I have no experience with piston fill mechanisms. The only other fountain pen that I own, which I have no idea where I have, it disappeared 3 or 4 years ago, but I bought it, I think it must have been 2017 or 2018, and I used it in school for a while. That had cartridges, so I don't have experience with using like actual liquid ink, but I'm really enjoying that. And also the pen just looks beautiful. I love it. I love how it looks on the desk and like with the notebooks and all of that. I really, really like it. So that's cool. And that's the first thing I got. Then I thought while I was placing an order, I would get pencil board for the Hobonichi weeks. This is blue. It does really bother me, but I thought it was the least terrible of all of them. I just wish they had like a solid black pencil board or like a solid white pencil board. All of the other ones are very colorful and I don't like that, and as much as I hate the blue, I thought for the most part it's dark enough that like if I'm writing in my books at night, it's not gonna show. It's mostly gonna show up black. On camera it's gonna look fine. If I got like a really bright colorful pencil board, it would have looked terrible on camera. Well, like not terrible, just like I don't like the way that looks personally, so I don't want that to show up in my videos, if that makes sense. So I got that just because this still has the old Hobonichi paper and it does smudge. I am prone to smudging. I do have to wait, even with the Muji paper, which dries quite fast on this paper. With a Muji pen, I think I said a Muji paper, but even with the Muji pen, which does dry quite fast on this paper, if I'm like checking stuff between 2 pages and then writing on one and writing in the other, I would like to have a pencil board to put in between, because it will stay in the other page otherwise. So I'm happy I got it. I'm just going to be keeping it at the back of the book. It's fine. But I thought, like, I wasn't going to place an order just to get that. But while I was placing an order anyways, I thought I would get it as well. And then finally, to sort out the absolute chaos that is my sticker collection at the moment, I got a Traveler's Notebook sticker release paper insert. It's number 31 for the regular size, and it's 32 pages of sticker release paper, and I've just started putting in some stickers. I'll put the shop names in the text bar, so if you want to check any of those out, you can. I've divided them by shop. I had so I've put in the actual sticker sheets, like the physical sticker sheets that I've bought. I haven't yet put in all of my printable sticker sheets, but I don't know if I'm going to do that, mostly because I don't cut out all of my printables beforehand. These are some of Megan Rhiannon's. I had some small scraps of like the leftover scraps that you get when you only have 2 or 3 stickers left from a printable sticker sheet that were just laying around. So I did a while back cut those all out, and I had those on some other sticker release paper that I got from the backing of a finished sticker sheet. So I did put those in here, but like all of my own sticker sheets I don't cut out beforehand. I just cut them out as needed. So what I'm gonna do probably is see if I have any other ones that are like just loose, and maybe I'll cut those out, but like I'm not gonna cut out full sheets, if that makes sense. I am also thinking though, for all of my Sue Atelier stickers and sticker deco sheets, I might clip those in with paper clips, so I could also tidy those away, because at the moment I have everything in a sticker pouch. I guess I can show you. I have everything in a sticker pouch, and this is without like 20 plus sheets that I've already put in here. It's chaos. I can't find anything. So the bigger ones that don't fit in there can stay here and it's not a problem, but the rest can go in here because I can't find anything otherwise. And then I got 2 of the Traveler's Notebook archive folders, which was the main reason why I wanted to place the order anyways at some point this year, I guess. And then when I decided I was gonna get the pen, I just got everything else together with it. And you will have seen those on Monday as I archived my books. They're on the other side of the room, so I'm not gonna get up to get them, but just standard TN archive folders, just so everything now looks a bit neater on my bookshelf. I do have to go back and label the books, because some of them aren't labeled. They're numbered, they're all numbered, which is the most important thing, but I do like to put a label on them as well. So I do have to go back and do that at some point, but for now at least they look nice and neat on my bookshelf, which I'm happy about. And then book-wise, I have a couple of updates. So over the weekend I read If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura, is that how you say it? I bought this a couple of weeks ago, I think on the 25th of April when I went out, because it was a holiday. This has been like on my radar for a while. I've known about the book for a while. Even I feel like I'm a bit out of the loop reading wise, because I haven't been reading properly for so many years. So somehow, even while still kind of being a bit out of the loop, I have still followed a couple of booktube people, and I guess from one of those I must have picked up the name of this one because I was aware of the book. I thought it was okay. I gave it 2.5 stars. I liked the concept and I thought it brought up some really good points and it had some really good ideas, but the writing read really weird at times, and I'm not sure if it's just the writing itself or if it's a translation issue, but it was so awkward at times. It just read very script-like rather than book-like. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't particularly enjoy the writing. Not even true. I didn't enjoy a lot of the writing, and then there were some parts that were written much better, and I underlined a whole bunch of bits. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I finished it. It was a quick read. It was less than 200 pages. I read it between Saturday and Sunday. Glad I read it because it's been on my radar for a while. And I did actually write down my review page for that yesterday night, so I guess I can show you that too. Where is it? There it is. It's this one. I haven't printed out the cover yet, but I'll put that in. And then yesterday night, I also finally got around to writing my Earthflown review, so I'm glad I did that. I have yet to write my Babel review. It's the only one that I haven't written yet, but I want to reread all of my quotes, all of the quotes that I wrote down in here before that, and I haven't had time to do that yet. It's not, I'm in no rush to do this. I have notes on things that I want to mention, and I'd rather do that, like, not in a rush, but I also don't want to fall, like, too far behind, and I do want to keep track of the books that I'm reading and my thoughts about them, because it's very likely that if I read a book, I'm not gonna remember what it's about 2 or 3 years down the line, and so I'd really like to keep some notes about that kind of stuff. And then after I finished this, I was at home, so I picked up, I think, 3 or 4 books from my home library, or like my home bookshelf, to bring over here. And one of them was this Murakami book. I think Murakami is probably the author I've read the most books from. Close second is Herman Hesse, but I think Murakami is definitely the first one. And I have a couple that I've just had on my bookshelf for a while that I haven't read yet. This one was one of them. It's a short book as well. It's, again, less than 200 pages, or 186. I think in English it's called Novelist as a Vocation. I looked it up earlier to tell the name to a friend. It's 10 chapters. I've read 8. I'm really enjoying it. It's a non-fiction. I have read non-fiction from Murakami before, but I've mostly read fiction. He mostly writes fiction, to be honest. But this is more about his writing process and, like, his thoughts on writing, and I found it very interesting. I think it makes, like, knowing his writing, it makes a lot of sense to read this. And there's a lot of points where I'm, like, reading and I'm like, yeah, that shows up in the writing. And I think it's interesting to read about. So I'm really enjoying this. I only started reading that yesterday or the day before. I'm probably going to finish it tonight because I don't have much left. But I am really, really enjoying it. I think this is going to be probably, like, a 4-star. Not a 5-star, because it's not like outstanding, but it's a good book. It's a nice book. I really enjoy it. I would read it again. So probably going to be a 4-star. But the light, what's happening with the light? God, it's the first day of sun that we get in I don't know how long, and it looks like it's gonna stay sunny, but clearly maybe not. I don't know what's going on there. Well, okay, maybe the sun is coming back, whatever. I'm just so sick of the rain. I cannot. Yesterday it was rainy, so I was in a terrible mood, and then it was one of those days where, like, everything just kept going wrong, and then, like, it kept getting worse, and it was just comical. And the rain definitely made everything worse, so that was fun. But today I woke up and it was nice and sunny, and I was so happy, and I don't know what's going on now. It's sunny out the window, but I guess a cloud is passing by. Anyways, the last thing I wanted to mention was that this weekend, or, like, starting from tomorrow, which is Thursday, all the way until Monday of next week, here in Turin there is a really cool event, which is the International Book Fair. It's, or, like, Il Salone Internazionale del Libro, if, that sounds more familiar. Probably doesn't to anyone, but fine. It's an event that, I don't know what edition they're on. I feel like it might be more than 50. But it's an event that I've been going to since I was a kid. It's always during my birthday week. And funnily enough, I used to ask to be able to go to it as, like, a birthday gift as a kid, if that gives you any kind of an idea of what kind of kid I was. But it's a really, really cool thing. It's a massive event. It's book heaven. There's all sorts of independent publishers and bookshops, and they do a lot of like talks with like important speakers and authors and that kind of stuff. So I usually try to go. I don't know if I went last year. I can't remember. I know that the year before I went maybe on 3 of the days. I think I went on 3 of the days because I went once with a friend, once on my own, and another with other friends. So I'm pretty sure I went 3 times. But I wasn't sure I was going to get to go because I thought I was going to be busy on Friday and then I can't go at the weekend and then I'm in the lab on Monday. And I didn't want to go on Thursday because it was like my only free day this week and I have uni stuff to do. But as it turns out, I'm free on Friday. So I'm going to go on Friday morning. I will set myself a budget limit, and I will also try to not just buy books for the sake of buying books, because I have done that in the past and those books have yet to be read. It's easy to get carried away. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, this sounds good, and then it's like, am I actually going to read it though? So I'll try to make responsible choices, but I'll try to film a little bit in there. I don't know how much I'll actually be able to, just because it's filled with people. Friday morning is probably alright, but I don't really fancy filming people, you know? But it's gonna be so cool. It's a place that I really love. It's a really, really cool place. It's book heaven. I'm just very excited about it. Mostly I'm really excited to be able to go now that like I'm in such a good place with reading again, because I haven't been for such a long time, and the past few times that I've gone I haven't been as into reading, so it was still very enjoyable, but it wasn't the same thing as like when I used to go when I was a kid, or like the time that we went with our like my lyceum or high school class, and that was really cool. So I don't know, I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to a book presentation Friday night because my high school Italian professor invited me to it, because he was part of like the editing or like the curation of the project, so he's speaking to the event, and it's close to where I live anyway, so I'm happy to go. I know nothing about the book, but I'm excited to hear everyone talk about it, so I'll see how that goes too. Just a very book-centered week. I don't know what I'm gonna read after this. I do have another Murakami book that I'd really like to start reading, but that's like an over 800-page book. I don't know if I can commit to that, but also I read Murakami quite quickly, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I think, so this afternoon I've edited the video, which is nice. It's probably finished exporting as I was talking to you, so I'll publish that now, and then I might do a little bit more journaling, and then I have some uni work to get on. I have my dissertation to start thinking about. So I've got articles to read for that, or like papers to read for that. And I've got 2 other projects that are like, I have to submit alongside exams that I need to start thinking about. And it's like, brain is melting slightly, but it needs to be done. A nap sounds really good just about now. I really want to do some painting, but I think I'm probably going to paint tomorrow because I'm at home for the whole day. So that sounds like a smarter idea. But that's the update. That's a nice long update for today. Don't know if I'm going to talk again. Probably will. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on Friday. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't mind the rambly bit about stationery. Stationery orders are always very exciting. So I hope it was exciting for you to hear about that too. And yeah, hope you're doing well. See you soon. said I was gonna go tomorrow to the book fair. I went today. There's been a bit of a change of plans, mostly because I would have been in very much of a rush tomorrow, and basically would have had to come home to have a really quick lunch and grab my bags and then go out again to take the train, and I didn't want to do that. So I went this afternoon instead. It was opening day, but it wasn't. It was busy because a lot of schools were there, like a lot of classes were there with their teachers and stuff. We also did that one year, but most of them were just kind of like, because it was later on in the day, they were just kind of like sitting around, and the actual like stands were not too bad. So I picked up a couple of things. I got 5 books. Comparing that to like my standard for this book fair, I actually behaved pretty well. I fully expected to come out with like 10 or 12. I would not have been surprised. So I guess I wanted to show you what I got. First of all, the only book that I was really looking for was The Details by Jörg Genberg, I think, yeah. I've mentioned it a couple of times already and I haven't been able to find it yet. I'm gonna have to order it online because they don't have it in store. The only Italian edition I can find is one of those really, really narrow ones, like narrower than the Traveler's Notebook standard size, and I don't like reading those. So, and there's a specific English edition that I really like, so I'm gonna have to order that. But I wanted to read this other book that was also I don't know if it was shortlisted, but I know it was longlisted for the book prize. And it's Niente di Vero by Veronica Raimo, which is an Italian author, so I got it in Italian. And then I got a couple of Japanese books. I didn't want to get books that I knew I could kind of get easily elsewhere, but also I thought, you know, I found a Murakami book that I don't already own, and there's few of those, so I thought I'm just gonna get it because sometimes I go to the bookshop and I'm like, I already have all of these, so I got it even though it's not something that is like impossible for me to find elsewhere, but it's one that I haven't read yet and I'm excited to read. I did also, by the way, finish reading this one earlier this afternoon. Really, really enjoyed it. I did end up giving it 4 stars. I do need to write down my proper review and stuff, and then I'll put that in my commonplace, but I did finish it. Then I got this book. I will put the translated title on the screen because I don't know what the translated title in English is, but it's another Japanese novel. Japanese writing often has like a very specific vibe and I really like it. It's very dreamy, and I don't know, I found that with several authors and I really like that. I was going to get another one in the series of like Until the Coffee Gets Cold, I think it's called, because I've read the first one and they had the other ones, but they all look very similar. I think they're really just a continuation of the first one and like the premise is the same, it's just different stories, but I was like, I don't know if I fancy reading that at the moment. And this was a bit different, or like obviously it's a different book, but it's still Japanese writing and I'm really excited to read this because it's an author that I haven't read yet. I read like a couple of pages at the beginning and I seem to enjoy the writing, so I'm excited to read that. And then I also got another Japanese book, which I've been eyeing up for a while. It's another one that's kind of been on my radar for a bit. And I saw it just as I was leaving, and I was like, mine. And then alongside that, again, I'll put the title on the screen. Alongside that, I got this book. Irene Graziosi is someone that I have been following for a while. She used to do book readings on a channel that is like, it's a bit of a strange thing, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a really, really cool channel that has recently kind of closed. It was like a full-on production thing. It was called Venti, and they were doing like, I don't know, it was kind of about being in your 20s, but they were doing really cool interviews with artists. She was doing book readings and I always really enjoyed those, and they talked about a lot of very relevant topics and I really liked it. It was very well curated, and I found her book. I hadn't bought it yet, and I thought it's very much about social media and influencers and like how that kind of influences the world that we live in right now, and like I don't know, changes our perspective on the present times and that kind of thing. And I've, I'd heard about it when it came out, but I hadn't bought it yet. And I saw it on the same vendor as this, and I thought I would get it as well. So that's my little book stack. I'm excited to read all of these. I don't know what my next read is going to be. I'll decide after dinner, I think. But I'm happy I got some books that I'm excited about. There's some fiction, there's some non-fiction. Mostly there's fiction, which is nice because I was kind of short on fiction. So just wanted to give you a little update on that. I also have some bits and bobs. I really want to stick this one in my journal. But yeah, I've kept those. These are discounts for books, but the other ones are just kind of like bookmarks. I like when they give you these. So that's a little update on how that went. I'm really glad that I went. It's always very enjoyable. A day is definitely not enough to see it all, but I'm glad that I went anyways.
Tutte le mie storie sono sempre ambientate a Roma, io non lo faccio apposta, quindi non so, Roma c'ha qualcosa di... è una città incredibile, così stratificata e complessa che appunto, come dire, è veramente perfetta per chi vuole scrivere, cioè un argomento infinito in qualche modo, ma anche tutta un po' l'ambivalenza e l'ambiguità della mia relazione con questa città.
Ciao.
Ciao.